Okay, here's the problems from the 4-2 formative. Okay, so I think there's 6 of them, so I'm just going to go through each of these one at a time. Also, if you're looking at getting to further examples, like if you just need to see number 4 or number 6 or something like that, if you look down below in the description, if you click on more, I'll have links to each of the problems so you don't have to go fumbling through and looking for them. Okay? All right, number 1. If D lies in the interior of angle ABC, so let's draw ourselves a nice big picture. We got A, B, C, and then B is somewhere here in the middle, right? So I'm going to draw the line BD. It says so angle ABD, and the measure of ABD is 30. ABD, this measure right here, they tell us right here it's 30 degrees. Measure of DBC is 55 degrees. Okay, what is the measure of ABC? So that measure of this entire ABC, we would just add those together. 30 plus 55 gives us 85 degrees. So that one should be this right here. Okay. Number 2, point J lies in the interior of angle VUT. So VUT, and it says J is in the interior. So J is somewhere in here. So then we draw ourselves a little line there. Okay. If the measure of angle VUJ is 17x minus 3 and JUT is 17x plus 8, and the measure of angle VUT, this whole thing, equals, so this entire angle measures 175 degrees. What is the value of X? Okay, so we know that these two angles are going to be the same as this angle right here. So we would want to do this, 17x minus 3 plus 17x plus 8, and that all has to equal 175 degrees. Okay, because these two have to add up to this one here. So now it's just good old algebra. 17 and 17 is 34x. Negative 3 and 8 is plus 5 equals 175. So remember, with algebra, we want to get the x's by itself and the numbers by themselves. So subtract 5 from both sides. That goes away. We're left with 34x equals 170. And then we want to divide, because if we want to get rid of the entire piece, like this plus 5, we want to get rid of that whole thing, we subtract it or add it if that was a negative. If we want to get just part of it taken off, that's where we're going to want to divide by 34. So divide both sides by 34, and we should get that x equals, so take 170 and divide by 34, and we get that this is 5. So what is the value of x? X would be 5. So you should write it in as, say, either x equals 5 or just plain old 5. Those should hopefully get you the right answers on there, because I know that GoFormative is kind of picky about what kind of answers they have in there. All right, moving on. Number 3, given measure of angle ABC, this whole thing here is 17x plus 8. So this whole angle is 17x plus 8. And then it says ABK is 42. And KBC, this one right here, is 12x minus 4. Find the measure of ABC, this whole thing here. Okay. So we know that these two angles together have to add up to this whole angle here. So we do 42 plus 12x minus 4 equals 17x plus 8. Okay, so 42 minus 4, let's see, we got 12x. Let's put the variable first. 42 minus 4 gives us 38 equals 17x plus 8. And let's see, we got 17x and 12x. I'm going to move my, I'm going to move my 12x, subtract my 12x from both sides, because if I do that, this one's gone, and that leaves me with a positive x over here. That equals 38, and then I subtract 8 from both sides. We get 5x equals 30. Divide by 5, and we get that x is 6. Now, it's not asking us what x is. It's asking us what angle ABC is. So I'm going to plug this 6 into this x right here, make our life easy. So 17 times 6 plus 8, that's a 6. That will give us, let's see, so 17 times 6 is 102, plus 8 gives us 110 degrees, okay? So again, when you answer this, you'll just want to put 110. Just leave it like that. You'll have to leave it without the degree sign unless it's got a symbols thing on there somewhere, which I don't think it does. So, okay, so that's 3. 4, if DE bisects angle PDC. So I'm going to draw it right off the bat. Angle PDC. P. Oops, that's not a P, that's the D. Let's make that look better. P, D, and C. And it says D to E bisects it. So I'm going to try to put E as close to the middle as I can, so that it looks like I've cut this exactly in half, because we now know that this is the same as that. Okay. Let's see, measure of angle PDE is 15 degrees. What is the measure of angle PDC? So if this is bisected and we know that this is 15, guess what? This down here also has to equal 15. So then the measure of angle PDC is just going to be 15 plus 15, which gives us 30 degrees. And again, for your answer, you'll probably just type in just 30 so that the GoFormative will recognize it. Okay? Number 5, given that CO bisects angle WCU. So again, you want to draw yourself a nice little picture here. WCU, and then the CO bisects it. So I'm going to put O out there, and I want to make this look like it gets cut exactly in half. So I know that this is the same as this, okay? Because it bisects it. Measure of angle WCO, this one right here, is 4x plus 4. And measure of OCU equals 5x minus 2. Figure out what x is. Since we know that this angle is the same as this angle, we can set these two equal to each other. So we're just going to do this. 4x plus 4 equals 5x minus 2. Now we're going to want to solve, so I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides, so that we get 4 over here, and 5x minus 4x gives us 1x minus 2. Add 2 to both sides, and we get that x equals 6. Okay, so you should be able to type it in like that. I would just, for the GoFormatives, just type in 6, and that would be, that should work out just fine. Okay, last one, number 6. Given that EW bisects angle DEN. D, E, and N. And it says EW bisects it. So I'm going to try to draw something that looks like it's cut exactly in half. So that's EW. So since it bisects it, we know that this angle has to be the same as this angle. Okay, those angle measures are equal. All right, there we go. Find the measure of angle DEN, this whole thing, if measure of DEW, this one here, is x plus 19. And DEN, this whole thing here, is, that whole angle there is 5x plus 8. Okay? So, since we know that this is an angle bisector right here, if this is x plus 19, this is also x plus 19. So what we'll want to do is we know that these two angles have to add up to this angle here. So we say x plus 19 and x plus 19 has to equal 5x plus 8. So we get 2 x's here. 19 and 19 is 38. 5x plus 8. Got x's on both sides. I'm going to subtract my 2x from both sides so that my x's are positive. So I get 3x plus 8. And this is equals 38. Oops. I want to get the 3x by itself, so I want to subtract the 8. So 30 equals 3x, and then I divide by 3, and I get that x is 10. Now, it says find the measure of angle DEN. It doesn't say find x. It says find that measure of angle DEN. That's this whole thing. So I'm going to take this 10 here that we just found and plug it in for this x right here. 5 times 10 plus 8. 5 times 10 is 50. Plus 8 gives us that angle measure is 58 degrees. Okay? All right, that's all there is for all these problems from our GoFormative. If you have any questions about any of these, please feel free to ask. Okay? Thanks.